Welcome to the beginning of many video clips that you'll find to go with the Grade 7 Technology Unit. So if you don't know me, I'm Mr. Dell, and these video clips have been made to go along with what I'm teaching in class. So if you forget something that you've learned, or you're in the middle of programming something up and you've just forgotten a simple step, jump in, have a look at these clips, and hopefully they'll give you what you need. So let's have a look at two things to start with. First, we're going to look at the events to get our program started, and then we're going to have a look at just our basic motion controls, and we might look at some of these others just to begin. So I want to start my program, and to start my program I'll drag in my green flag, so when I click my program it starts over here. Then I go up to motion, and I've got my basic motion functions here. So I've got been able to move, turn my character, go to a random position there, but any arrow, so if I'll put this in here, you can see here, see that little arrow there? Down arrows anywhere, so there's one there, and you can see it on lots of other programs, mean that there's a menu there. So if I click on that, you'll actually see it'll give me another option there. So we've got lots of different options here to play with. Glide to is one of my personal favorites. But let's just start putting some of these in and having a look. So I'll just simply put in move 10 spaces. And now you notice when I click the go button, he moves 10 spaces every time. The program runs because I've clicked on the flag. The program moves 10 spaces and it stops. So I'm going to bring him back here, and I'm going to go back to events. And now under events here, you can see other options to start the program. So for instance, rather than clicking on the flag, I want to click on the sprite, and I'll move that across to there. Now you can see when I click on the cat, he now moves 10. Or I could say, well, what about a key? And again, you see the little arrow, so therefore let's set it to right. And now you can see we've got arrow key pushing it right. And then, well, what if I want to go left again? So let's bring in this and choose left, and then we're going to put in a move, and this time we're going to do -10. So now we can go backwards and forwards. So we're starting to get the gist of things here. The events, now the basic events you're going to use are most probably the green flag, and maybe you might use the key one, but I think there's a much smarter way to do that. In a more advanced video later on, we're going to have a look at this receiving a message one. It's really important, but apart from that, the others are just when you want to have a little bit of a play with, but realistically you're not going to find you use much of them. I just want to show you the difference between the move and the glide. So you can see here the move, each time it goes, it's quite jumpy. He disappears and he reappears. So for instance, if I was to make that 100, and I better make this one back 100, otherwise he's just going to disappear off the screen really quickly. You can see he just disappears and he pops back at a different spot. The glide to, however, so if I put glide and I'll pop him there, and his starting position is 166.0, which is where he is right now, -166.0. And let's take him to there, which is 129. And I'll bring him back here. So now when I click here, you can actually see he doesn't disappear and reappear. He glides from one spot to the other. Okay, I'm going to leave it there. And then we'll come back in the next video clip and we'll have a look at how to actually put in an if statement to start turning this into a game.